friends. This is your Trimester 3 yoga-inspired practice. Thanks for joining me. My name is Megan. I'm filming this currently at 29 weeks pregnant, so I'm just into my third trimester. And I wanted to focus on a sequence today to help ease some tension and some stress in the areas around the hip joints. So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling a lot more in my outer glutes, my low back. So hopefully this practice today supports you in creating a bit of ease and maybe allowing you to explore a bit more into what's going on in that area of the body so that you can be really mindful in other types of movement practices, as well as maybe more mindful in how you go about your day. I know I've been walking really quickly, waddling really quickly to get from place to place. So slowing down, landing in the body, and let's just see what's going on together on our mats. I'll be using blocks for today's practice. Depending on where you are in your pregnancy, you may be using more props at this stage, whether it's bolsters, blankets. Of course, you're more than welcome to include those. But today's class, I will be cueing some options and some modifications with the blocks just to create a bit of extra support and ease. We'll start in a seated position together. Cross leg, you're welcome to sit on a block if there's more comfort for you there. Let's close down the eyes, roll up the shoulders a couple times, and just breathe. Take a few moments to feel your breath, connect to your breath, and anchor into this moment. If you are noticing that it's starting to feel more challenging to breathe, see if you can lift up a little bit taller along the spine, create some more space in the upper torso. As you breathe here, if there is strain in the hips or the low back, maybe you play around with the angle of the hips, whether it's a gentle shift forward or back, side to side, until you can create some ease in this seated shape. Take a few more rounds of breath for yourself. Acknowledging that transitioning from the outer world to this time on your mat can take a bit of time. Okay, so give yourself permission to just slowly get there. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed, or you can begin to softly open your eyes. And let's drop the chin down towards the chest just to create some ease in the upper body to start. Can you rock your head from side to side? Just slow half circles as you rock from the right into the left. Not forcing, not resisting, just really easy movement side to side. Good, and the next time your head meets center, stack your head back up over your shoulders. Bring your hands in behind you, facing the top of your mat here with your hands behind you, both feet flat. Can you windshield wiper your knees from side to side? Just a gentle release for the hips, the low back. Soft bend in your elbows to avoid locking into the joints. Okay, so a little bit of work for the upper arms and shoulders. Okay, and then pause back through center. Bring your feet in just a little bit closer. Bend your right knee in and see if you can cross your right ankle over your left thigh. You may need to send your left foot further away from the body depending on how much space baby and belly are taking up here. Okay. Play around with the position of your pelvis so that you don't feel any any tension or pinching in the low back. So you can play around until you find a comfortable place to settle. Then can you energetically send your right knee away from your body? It's okay if the knee is way up here or if it's in line with your left knee. Just play around with where you start to feel some sensation. Good, and then press up into your fingertips. Extend your left leg long to land your right foot either on the outer line of your left leg, or if that creates any compression on the belly, keep it on the inner line of the left leg. Take your right elbow to your inner right thigh, left fingertips behind you, and we'll slowly guide the torso towards the left. Left shoulder will roll back, maybe your gaze will follow. You might drop your right hand to your right ankle or spirit fingers, okay, or rest it on your outer left thigh. Okay. So we're twisting away from the right knee, no compression on the belly, just a little bit of opening across the chest. You might feel something in your left quad. And slowly unwind back through center. Bring your hands behind you, both feet flat to the mat once again. Another round of windshield wiper knees as you rock from side to side. Good, and let's set up for the other side. Take your left knee in slightly, cross it over your right thigh. Remember, you can send your right foot away from the body as far as you need to go, so there's no compression on the belly, and we're able to get into the glutes. Send your left knee away from the body as you anchor down through your hands. Keep your spine nice and long, chest is open. You can lift your chest, lift your gaze. If movement feels good here, a gentle rock from side to side is always nice to just explore where there might be a bit more sensation. Couple more rounds of breath. Let this feel good. Then eventually extend your right leg long. Slide your left foot to the outer line of your right leg if there's space. If not, no worries. Okay. You can keep your left foot on the inner line of your right leg. This time your left elbow meets your inner left thigh. Right fingertips meet the space behind you. So really tall spine, torso opens towards the right. You can reach your fingertips, left fingertips forward, rest them on your shin, maybe outer right line of the right leg. And allow your gaze to settle where it's comfortable. Again, we're not forcing, we're not pushing. We're just trying to create some space, some sensation, a gentle stretch, and a slow opening. Take a big inhale breath. Exhale, maybe you move in slightly deeper. And draw back through center. Nice job. Cross your ankles, roll over onto all fours. 3 cow-cat movements for the spine. They'll cycle through together. With the inhale, let your belly fall. Really soft belly as you peel your shoulders back, send your chest gaze through. And exhale, round navel to spine, chin to chest. If you've been following along since trimester 1, I would love to hear how cow-cat is feeling in your body now. I'm definitely feeling a bit more restricted here in the upper part of my belly. And exhale, round through. One more time. Inhale, belly will fall. Lift your hips, shoulders back, chest gaze. Remember, we're not forcing. Allow this to be really easeful. Exhale to round. Okay. Slowly come back through center. This is where blocks can come into play. Take your right foot, step it to the outer right side of your mat. So your hands are on the inner line of your right foot. You can lower your left block to its lowest setting. Place your left hand on the mat. Tuck your left toes, slide your left knee back, and let's open up into a lizard with a gentle twist. Roll to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Right hand to your inner right thigh as you send your gaze over your right shoulder. So I have a really wide stance here. I'll just show you from the front. Block is under left hand. Right foot is way out here, so you can see how much space I have to then open up. No compression on the belly, opening up across the chest. Stay here for a few more rounds of breath. I'll just get settled back in to meet you. Take another inhale breath. On your exhale, slowly come back through center. Okay, square off your hips for a moment. I'm going to bring my blocks back to the medium setting. Tuck the back toes and take a soft bend, a little bit of buoyancy, and step forward to set up for a squat pose. If you know that you're quite tight, it's really early on in the practice, you're welcome to stack up your blocks and slowly sit back. Okay. Toes open, heels in, hands to heart, elbows to inner thighs. Okay. So from the front, something like this. If you're not using the blocks, no worries. You can just place them out in front of you. And we're not here for too long. Just start to tune into what's going on in the hips, where there might be some compression. Take another big inhale breath. And as you exhale, forward fold. So you may wish to bring the blocks to their highest setting. Slowly press away from the blocks. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Heel toe your feet in slightly. You can keep them wide, lots of space for belly. Toes point forward. Okay. And then let's just take a slow bend into each knee. Rock from side to side. Can you tilt your sit bones up towards the ceiling? Release any compression in the low back. You can let your head hang heavy. And then take an inhale breath to lengthen your spine long. Exhale to soften back into your fold. Come all the way up to stand. Take a big inhale breath. You can reach your arms up overhead and exhale. Soften through to mountain pose. Let's take the right foot forward, left foot steps back. Okay. Deep bend in your front knee. Back foot is either parallel with the back of your mat or slightly turned in, depending on how you feel in your hips today. Okay, lots of space for baby, belly, shoulders stacked up over hips. Open up your arms, warrior two. Reach, stretch your fingertips in opposite directions. Now let's flip the right palm right away here. With your inhale, reverse your warrior, and as you do, extend your right leg straight. Reach your right arm up and over. Really nice stretch for this outer right line of the body. And as you exhale, can you settle back into warrior two, and then towards extended side angle. Right elbow drops to your right thigh as your left arm will sweep up and over. Okay, let's flow with breath. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Press through your right foot, straight leg. And exhale, sweep up and over, extended side angle. Let's just do one more together. Big inhale breath. And exhale, extended side. If this feels really good for you today, please do a few more rounds. Inhale will bring you back to warrior two eventually when you're ready to meet me here. Take a big inhale breath. On your exhale, slowly windmill your hands down to your blocks. Lower them to the medium setting just for a bit more stability. Step your right foot back. Slowly lower onto your knees. Hey, be really slow and mindful in your transitions, especially if you're not feeling super stable today. There's no rush. You can always pause the video. Slow it down, let your body, your breath be your guide. Let's take 3 more cat-cows before we try the other side. Inhale, breath, belly will fall. And exhale, you round through, big stretch along the back line of the body. 2 more, inhale, belly will fall. And exhale, you round. 1 more time, big inhale, breath. And exhale into cat pose. Meet back through center. Once again, incorporate the blocks if you have them. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Both hands are on the inside. Take a wide stance, and by wide stance, I mean the distance from the left foot and the back knee. So there's lots of space for baby, belly, and hips. Lizard twist, lower onto your lowest setting for the right block, right hand on top. Slide your right knee back. So you're not resting on the kneecap. You're creating that length through the front of the right leg. And then slowly you're welcome to twist. First side, we did take the hand to the inner thigh, so this might be where you stay. Some of you may automatically reach your top arm up towards the ceiling. Wherever you are, settle into the hips. Acknowledge where you're feeling sensation. We're not here for too long. Remember, no compression on the belly. There's lots of space for the torso to move. Take an inhale breath. And exhale will guide you back through center. Okay, so bring your blocks back into the mix. Tuck your back toes. Find a little bit of buoyancy. Another set of squats. So your right foot will step forward this time. Remember, you can stack up your blocks and sit back here. Just be mindful of slow transitions. If you're not using blocks, no worries. Okay, maybe you are here, send your sit bones towards the mat, hands at heart center, elbows pressed to the inner thighs, upper body is tall. And let's close down our eyes here and see if we can hold with the breath, really tall, engaged through the midline of the body, opening up through the hips. We have a few breaths here together. Close down your eyes and breathe. You can do it. A couple more breaths. Take one more big inhale. On your exhale, hands to your blocks. Slowly lift your hips. Hey, heel toe your feet in a little bit closer if you need that extra support, but toes point forward. Pedal your knees side to side. Good place to find the highest setting of your block. Just make sure they're stable. Not using them too much for support, but more for space, bringing the ground closer towards the body so we're not having to fold too deeply to decompress the spine. Take an inhale to create extra space for the spine. Exhale to fold, then slowly rise all the way up. Take a big inhale breath at the top. And exhale through to mountain pose. Left foot at the top of the mat. Step your right foot back. Warrior two. Deep bend in your right knee. Toes and knee point forward. Okay, see if you can get your knee to track your ankle. Okay. All right, and then open up your arms, re-stretch your fingertips in opposite directions. Take a moment to get comfortable again in your body. If anything feels funny or out of position, there's always time to readjust. Remember, there's no right or wrong in these shapes as long as you feel safe in your body. Flip your left palm, inhale, reverse back, and as you do, press through your left foot to straighten out through your left leg. As you exhale, come through warrior two into extended side angle. Right arm will sweep up and over. Okay. Two more like that with the breath. Inhale, press through your left foot, reach up, reach back. And exhale, extended side angle, top arm will reach. One more time, big inhale. Squeeze into your glutes for support, reach up, reach back. And exhale. Inhale will bring you back through to your warrior two. Pause for a moment, fire up your strong quads, glutes. Take an inhale breath. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Okay, lower your blocks to their lowest setting. Make sure you're stable here as you step back. One knee at a time meets the mat. And let's sit hips on heels for a moment. Give the shoulders a roll. Okay. With your block, take one of your blocks and lift up through onto your knees. And then bring your block just in between your two ankles and slowly sit back. So this will take a bit of compression out of the knees. Hopefully, sit bones are rooted, upper body is nice and tall. Okay. And then we'll stay here for a few rounds of breath. Enjoy a gentle stretch through the front of the ankles. And then you're welcome to take this even further into the front of the hips. So these hip flexor muscles in the front line of the body. Walk your hands back behind you. Give a tuck of your tailbone. Okay, so there's that shifting of your pelvis forward. Okay, and then walk your hands back. Now, just important to acknowledge here that we're not coming into a deep back bend. We want to keep the spine fairly neutral and instead create sensation through the front of the legs into the hip area here. Okay, so less about a deep back bend and more about the area around the hips. Soften your shoulders from your ears. You can keep your heart space open, chest lifted, gaze lifted. Take a few more rounds of breath. And then without having to twist the spine too much, see if you can press up onto your fingertips. Come all the way forward so that you can remove your block. And land in a seated position. You can continue to face the front of your mat, top of your mat. We'll close off just with one seated posture before we move on to onto the mat to close practice. So from here, can you move into fire log pose or double pigeon pose? We'll take the right, I'll mirror you here, the right leg and stack the shin over your left. So your right ankle will stack over your left knee. Your right knee is over your left ankle. Now, it's totally fine if the knee is way up here. Block can come in handy to help support. Okay. So if you have a block and there's a lot of space between the top knee and the bottom ankle, use the block. I need mine way up here. And then you're welcome to stay with the tall spine. So shoulders stacked up over hips. You're welcome to explore a gentle lateral shape as you bend from side to side. That might feel really nice. Okay, depending on how much space you have with your baby in your belly, you might take a fold, but just important to avoid compressing into that area. So if there's not a lot of space, I encourage you to stay seated right here. And you can play more with shifting your weight slightly forward if you'd like to increase the sensation in the hip area. So wherever you are, take a few deep, full rounds of breath. Soften into whatever sensation is coming up for you here, whatever is maybe screaming back at you in this shape. And I invite you to linger in this pose for as long as you need to, as long as it feels good. In any shape where I invite you to stay longer, just really important to be mindful of any numbing or tingling. If you start to feel that sensation, I'd encourage you to come out. Okay, that starts to be more of a nervy sensation than a muscle sensation. So we want to come out of the pose if you start to feel that. But as long as it's muscle sensation, it's creating some ease and some release in those areas, then linger as long as it feels good. When you're ready to come out, lift your knee, remove your block if you have it. Take your hands behind you. You can windshield wiper like we did near the start of class. And hopefully you remembered which ankle was on top. I know I'm having a hard time remembering things, so I believe we're going on to the other side now. You should be able to tell with sensation. So with your right shin down on the mat, pull your left shin now to stack on top of the right. Yeah, there we go. So once again, you're welcome to use your block for support, especially if there is quite a big gap between your knee, top knee, and your bottom ankle. Okay. Anchor down through your sit bone, stack your shoulders over your hips. You're welcome to add that lateral stretch. Lean into a side that feels good. Try to keep your shoulders soft wherever you are. If you have the space to hinge without compressing, you're welcome to take that soft fold forward. And I didn't show you on the other side, but there is a nice modification for this shape too. If this is just not happening at all in your body today, hey, you're welcome to take a similar variation with the leg, bottom leg extended. Okay, so it would look like this on each side. If that feels more comfortable for you, go back and do the other side for 10 or so breath, and then try this side for 10 or so breath. Wherever you are, again, that invitation to stay for as long as it feels good, especially if this pose feels like it's really doing a lot for you today. When you are ready, you can remove the block, get them right out of the way, slowly release, facing the top of your mat. You can windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And then take a block with you as you slowly come onto your back. We won't be on the back for very long. And we will use the block for a little bit of support. So once you land on your back, take a moment just to check in with how you feel. Okay. And then press into your feet, lift your hips, and slide your block at its lowest setting, just at your sacrum, so that space right at the base of your spine. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you at all, I encourage you to take some movement that does feel comfortable to unwind from that last little bit of work. And eventually we'll meet in sideline position to close off practice. I did want to come into this shape just to create a little bit of a neutral feeling for the spine, the front of the hips, the back of the hips, movement side to side to release the sides. Once you do start to feel pretty even, you're welcome to press back into your feet, lift your hips, lower your hips back down to the mat. And then whatever side you're most comfortable resting on, we'll move into our final rest in side lying position. Block between your knees might feel really, really good today. And whether you're taking the right or the left side, take your time to get nice and comfortable. Your top arm might reach forward, act as a pillow. If you thought to bring your second block with you, you might use that underneath your forehead. Mine's a bit too far away now, so I'm going to stay just like this. If you have blankets, bolsters, and you're able to really, really cozy up for your final relaxation, take your time. And it will leave you resting in this final shape so that you can absorb all of this peace, ease, rest that you need before taking on whatever is waiting for you off the mat. So please pause me whenever you're ready so you can settle into this deep relaxation. I will close today with a big thank you for trusting me and guiding you through practice, for sharing in this space with me and allowing me this place to teach and guide from my heart to yours. Namaste.